खुशामदीद नाजरीन, आप देख रहे हैं प्रोग्राम नुक्ता एतराज। मैं हूं शहजाद रजा। पाकिस्तान और ताल्लुकात खित्ते की सलामती, मजबूती और खुशहाली के लिए कितने जरूरी हैं, ये वो बुनियादी सवाल है जो मैं आज उठाऊंगा ईरान के एम्बेसडर पाकिस्तान में मेहदी हुनर दूस्त साहब के, जो हमारे साथ आज मौजूद हैं। थैंक यू सो मच मिस्टर एम्बेसडर फॉर गिविंग अस योर प्रेशियस टाइम। लेट मी बिगिन बाय आस्किंग दैट ईरान एंड पाकिस्तान they always maintain good relations and they say so in public. But recent events tell us a different story to some extent. Do you think that the recent events have anything negative or have a negative impact on the relations of the two countries?
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum to everyone, and especially to the lovely people of the Pakistan. This is a very good question, my brother. The relation between two countries, along the history, we have very good and brotherly and friendly relation, and anybody knows that there is no gap and rift between Iran and Pakistan. Of course, sometimes maybe some small events we had, especially recently, but anybody knows that the two countries and the two leaders of the two countries, they look to the relation as a precious and valuable relation, and so it cannot, no accident can have any impact to our relation.
No incident.
Yeah.
And the recent incident, even there has been a very big summit in Saudi Arabia, and there were reports that Iran had some reservations, or maybe a lot of reservations, that why Islamic countries they were together, and it was an apprehension among the Iranians that this alliance or the summit, it was aimed at isolating Iran.
Of course, when I said that the two countries, they have very good and sound relation, it doesn't mean that there is no misunderstanding, there is no some issues for talking and sharing the views. Of course, between two brothers also you can find a lot of issues that they have some maybe some different views about it. And so one of them is that yes, that summit, because many times the Iranian authorities they announced very clear stance and position regarding that summit. Many times we emphasized to the world that we emphasize that this summit is not benefit to the unity of the Islamic countries, among Islamic countries. Many times we said that there is no positive, it is not positive step towards the unity among the Muslim brothers, Muslim countries. It is obviously, definitely it is clear that it is under the international management that they try to put rift and gap more and more and widening the rift among the Muslim brothers.
But why did the 54 Muslim countries attend the summit at the first place if it was really the aim of that summit to isolate Iran? They were together to fight against the forces of terror like Daesh and Al-Qaeda. So why Iranians believe that the summit was something to do with the isolation of Iran or to put more pressure on the government?
Of course, before the summit, we announced our stances to all of the Arab and Muslim countries, and especially to our friends like as Pakistan, that they should be careful about it. They never goes to the mischief of some third parts that they are not convinced about this brotherly relation between Iran and Pakistan, and we can account to Pakistani as usual that they take proper decision in proper time. Something that we emphasized and we ask that yes, from 2 years back, the history goes 2 years back. They some third parts they try to make some coalition regarding to against that they should be active against terrorism. the first question that we raise is that some Islamic countries that they are the victim of the first victim of the terrorism. Why they are not here? There in this coalition, Iran, Syria, Iraq. We suffered a lot of pain regarding the terrorism. And also some countries like as Iraq, you know that what's the situation in Iraq and Syria.
Are you referring to the coalition that was created to sort out issues in Yemen?
Yes, yes. You know something that especially they emphasized about the Yemen. And the other issues that unfortunately from early morning up to night, every day we receive a new development and new.
But you must give credit to the government of Pakistan, the Parliament of Pakistan. They decided not to join the Yemen war because they felt that it might go wrong in a different way, and it might be considered as a direct confrontation with Iran or the people, the other stakeholders in Yemen. So Pakistan decided not to participate in that war. That was the decision. But now, when the coalition was created to fight against the terrorism, specifically Daesh, so then Pakistan decided that yes, this is the time that we might join this war.
My brother, according to the importance of the relation between Iran and Pakistan and very peacefully and brotherly coexistence, and according to the international regulations, we never try to interfere to internal issues of any countries, especially our brother in Pakistan affairs. But something that it is definitely clear, and we draw the attention of our brothers to this matter, that it's not the coalition against terrorism. If this is terrorism, the first question that we raise that how many countries among these members of the coalition, they give facilities to Daesh. Do you know that Daesh and the terrorism, as like as the human body, they need to.
So are you saying on the basis of some solid evidence, or is just analysis?
It is definitely clear. How can be alive without the financial support? How can they be alive without any logistic support? It is definitely clear. Of course, and we offered our documents that one of the main reason of the being more and more stronger some terrorist groups, because the double approach by the superpowers to the matter, because they believe that the terrorism can be divided to the good terrorism and bad terrorism, and they use it as a leverage to put pressure to some countries. If under this approach we cannot never be succeed. Many times we ask to the Western countries that this blade that you sharpened, one day cut your finger, and you can believe that nowadays the local terrorism changed to the global terrorism.
But you talking about the non-state actors. So many countries, they have history of supporting the non-state actors, including the United States of America, Saudi Arabia, maybe Pakistan when first Afghan war was in the full swing. And if we talk about Iran, what about Hezbollah? Hezbollah is a non-state actor, and there are evidence and instances which suggest that Iran was supporting Hezbollah. Although it may be a legitimate cause, but still it's a non-state actor. So every country has a history.
If I want to elaborate this matter, my brother, you can look to the essence of the issue. When I was in the mission in one country, one day ambassador of the Palestine in that country asked me, where were you? I said I was in Lit. He said, how much is difficult when you want to go to your country, you should apply the visa. I never forget. Many years back. Totally the issue of the Palestine is different to this matter. What is the essence and the reality of the Palestine, the occupied region? Do you know any country in the world that they never condemn this matter? Only Israel?
So supporting a non-state actor even for a legitimate cause like Palestine,
Yes.
is justified.
It's justified by the people. They announce our clear stance regarding the matter. Nobody can interfere in this matter. You go for any making decisions. You can go directly to the people's vote. We said that in that region there are Muslims, there are Maronis, there are Christians, there are Jews. We never said that. Any conflict, flare up the conflict among the region is the solution. We believe that the political solution is the best, and so it is something else. It is really they tried, and the Palestinian people they try for have inevitable rights. The Palestine is homeland.
Exactly. So we Pakistanis and many in the world, we equate the issue of Palestine with that of Kashmir, and we say that it has to be resolved politically, diplomatically, and under the UN resolution. So going by your analogy, if supporting a non-state actor for a justified cause for the people who are fighting for their freedom, so same formula might apply on Kashmir as well.
The Kashmir issue is not the only issue around our country. We have some. And something according to the international regulation and according to the good relation between the countries. We never have right to any comments because no country, Pakistan and India, nobody from this side invited Iran to come to matter. You know, non-state actors, yes, when you said that for the eligible reasons, but totally that area that occupied by the Israelis, it is totally different. They believe that the Kashmir, if the both sides can come together to talk about the matter and find diplomatic solution, it is the Iranian stance regarding the matter. Because as I said, as a first, it is the issue between Pakistan and India, and the second, no country invited Iran for announced Iranian readiness for coming to solve the issue. And so, as I said, we have something, the issue of like as the Kashmir around our country. If Iran comes to the matter as an interferer and the meddler, it is not our, no invitation we received about it.
No invitation. Yes. So did you get the invitation to resolve the Palestine issue?
Of course, it is, as you said, it is something exactly related to all of the countries. For example, the Pakistani people, the Pakistani government, and you supported the Palestinian, idea.
But what Pakistani government believes that the Kashmir and Palestine, they are the same issues and the unfinished agenda of the decolonization, and has to be resolved if you want peace in the region, in South Asia and in the Middle East.
Of course, we have many times we announced our stance regarding this matter, that any conflict that's like as this in this area, that we suffered a lot of pain, our people in the region, we should try to solve this as like as this issue by the bilateral talking, because that is enough that our wealth, our people, our time, and all of the other opportunities right now serve to some tension.
Okay, a lot is being written about the relation and the growing relation of Iran and India. So is it happening at the cost of the relation of Pakistan or no?
It is evident to all that the neighboring countries' relation is the first for all of the countries, and especially Pakistan for us. You can never find two countries like as Iran and Pakistan with a lot of commonalities. It is not a question by our friends, because anybody knows in the history. Please, if you have it, please tell me. Two neighboring countries of like as Iran and Pakistan. in 70 years, 7 decades, in any hardship time, they were close to each other. And so the neighboring country is so important, and the relation between Iran and Pakistan is more important and maybe first priority for us.
Exactly. Every country has a right to develop, bilateral relation with other country. So you have all the right to have a good trade, diplomatic, even defense relation with India. You are a sovereign country. India is a sovereign country. But again, I would refer to those articles, analysis, interviews in which people they suggest that the growing relationship, friendship between India and Pakistan is because that they want to isolate Pakistan economically, and after the CPAC and development of Gwadar, so Iran might think that it will take the business away from Chabahar port.
My brother, in last 4 decades, we suffered a lot of pain regarding to the sanctions. We suffered a lot of pressures, and it is one of the aspects of our new agreement with Iran and 5+1 that the door should be open. Iran is a big country with full of opportunities, and we should announce to the world that right now the doors are open and any opportunities is ready for cooperation. Of course, our relation with India is important for us. India was one of our partners in trade in last decades, and so it is obviously and definitely we said welcome to any regional cooperation if you go through the Iranian approach regarding to the policy in the region. Iran believes that the only way to cut the interference of the superpowers in the region, the only way for the coming to all of the countries in the region to come together for solving their problem they never need, and they should not give any opportunities for the foreign countries that come to our region. Everything that we need, we have.
So it is wrong that you are threatened by this new developments in Pakistan, economic developments in Pakistan, and especially the Gwadar port.
No. During my tenure, I tried the best for announce that the Gwadar and Chabahar, they have sisterhood relation. And nowadays we are trying to have a mutual visit by the authorities of these two harbors. My brother, sometimes many third parts that they are not convinced and satisfied about our relations between Iran and Pakistan, they try to flare up any questions. Sometimes of mine and my colleagues in the embassy, we should answer to some question by the media. My brother, Gwadar and Chabahar never they can be active without the reciprocal cooperation.
Exactly. So does it mean that you are going to join the CPAC?
Chabahar needs to Gwadar, Gwadar needs to Chabahar, and more than this, we believe, you mentioned the CPAC. We believe that the CPAC is not only the trade project. As like as the giant project, as like as the CPAC, if it will be functional, it can impact over the many issues and the problems that we have in the region. And we believe that the results of the CPAC is not only in trade. It can be solved. It can solve the many dilemmas and obstacles and the problems that we have. And so, Iran, with the huge potential, in some of them is the first or second in the world. We announced our readiness to come to CPAC. Nobody is against the CPAC if they would like peace and tranquility.
Exactly. So after you mentioned the sanctions and those sanctions lifted during the last administration of the United States, Obama administration. And the sanctions were one big obstacle on the pipeline project. And now, when the sanctions lifted, do you think that India would be willing to join this pipeline project? Because this is the only, if India joins this project, only then it will be viable. If the gas is coming from Iran, transit through Pakistan and going to India, and of course Pakistan would utilize. But if India is, you minus India from the project, it might be not as economically viable as it should be.
IP, as the first step, Pakistan is more important for us for many reasons. Pakistan is our neighboring country. Any positive development in the Pakistan comes back to us, and also negative. It means that the neighboring country is very important and has a great priority. And we spend $2 billion for the pipeline comes close to your border, to Pakistan borders. And so according to the importance of this project when to come to Pakistan, the first step is very important for us as a main priority. And also, it can impact the economy of our brothers, the country of Pakistan, put on the jumping board. If you go to this project and all of the results of this matter for the creation of the job, for the producing the electricity, and many and coming down the production cost. And so for the India, it is something else. If they need it, they can go through the negotiation with the Iranian side. If they can come, yes. But our pipeline is not so close to Pakistan. They can only, if they can open the tap.
Exactly. Can I take a short break and get back? एक वक्फा लेते हैं, वक्फे के बाद इंटरव्यू जारी रहेगा, हमारे साथ रहिएगा. प्रोग्राम में एक बार फिर खुशामदीद नाज़रीन. हमारे साथ मौजूद हैं पाकिस्तान में मुतय्यन ईरान के एम्बेसडर. मिस्टर एम्बेसडर, वी टॉक अबाउट बिफोर द ब्रेक relations and this US Arab Islamic Summit. We talk about India, and if you allow me, if I continue from the question of Indian intervention, recently a very bad episode unfolded. I'm referring to Kulbhushan Yadav, who was arrested in the province of Balochistan while he was traveling from Iran. So if an Indian spy who was involved in acts of terrorism, sabotage and espionage in Pakistan, and he was sitting in Iran using the Iranian soil against a brother Muslim country, how do you think that, how could it be possible? And did you lodge a strong protest with India that they used your soil to conspire against Pakistan?
The first, I should explain in some different fields of this matter for totally clearance. The first, I asked many times to my brothers here, would you please tell me what is the, for example, what is the Iranian interest in this matter? Please, the first, give me a hint for a residual interest of the Iranian. We are not two countries Muslim, we are not neighboring, we are not according to the realities. Would you please tell me what is the Iranian interest in this matter? Something that I am so sorry about it. And many times we explained and we explain in media that exactly the rise of this question is the benefit to some third part that they would like to flare up the tension among the public opinion of the two lovely peoples of Iran and Pakistan. Because anybody knows of the sensitiveness in Pakistan, and the Pakistani peoples, they know very well the sensitiveness in Iran. Many times authorities, our high authorities announced that never and never we permit to any countries do something against Pakistan.
Would you also explain which is that third party that is taking benefit out of it or creating misunderstanding between the two countries?
It is obviously clear that some third parts, they are not satisfied, and sometimes our relation is under the dark shadow of the third part.
This is what I need to know or understand. Which is that third part?
We have a lot of dilemma for promotion in some part of our relation, that directly the benefits are tangible for the people, or we try the best, but we cannot reach to any result. Anybody knows that the friendly and brotherly relation between Iran and Pakistan is against to the benefit of some countries.
Okay, you might not take the name, I'll take the name, that if you might refer to India, that it is taking advantage of creating misunderstanding between Iran and Pakistan. You might not agree with me, but I'm mentioning its name because you might not. So, my question was, did you lodge protest with the Indian government, although Iran had no issue, no link, no connection with Mr. Yadav? Iran had no intent of, creating such disturbance in Pakistan. But again, that person was sitting in Iran, your territory, a spy of a rival country of Pakistan. So you must have lodged a protest with the Indian government that how come it happened?
My brother, I never mentioned the name of the country.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying.
Of course, you can imagine, for example, some Arab states. Why you not mention Arab states? Sure. And so, according to the importance of the regional policy of the Iran never and never comes to the tension in the region. The relation between Pakistan is more and more priorities for us. In everything, you can never find any difference among Iranian, Pakistani, regional, international looking. That you can not find any country that's like this. And so, of course, we said welcome to better relation between India and Pakistan. We believe that the tension is not benefit to the national interest of the region. Iran be impacted and be influenced by any tension between Pakistan and India.
Would you agree with me that Pakistan helped Iran breaking the network of Jandullah?
It is better to come to the matter with this definition. My brother, terrorism in the world is benefit to no country, no personality, no government. And so, the talking and dialogue among the security officers of the two countries and also the two governments for the cooperation for this matter. As you know, we suffered a lot of pain regarding to the terrorist attack 3 weeks ago exactly, 4 weeks ago exactly in this day, they attacked to one checkpost, and that was horrible because the border between Iran and Pakistan is the border of the friendship and brotherly countries.
So you agree that Pakistan helped you break the network of Jandullah or other terrorist networks?
And we had cooperation. We had cooperation with Pakistan among some different fields against the terrorism. And Iranian authorities announced clearly their stance that they are with Pakistan against terrorism, and they tried and we said welcome and encourage the Pakistani in Zarbul Azb and also Ratul Fasad.
So are you with Pakistan? By you, I mean the government of Iran with Pakistan in case of Mr. Yadav.
We announced our Iranian readiness for any ambiguities that our brothers they have here, but they didn't raise any question because it is absolutely clear, definitely clear. Iran never and never never give any facilities to any countries in the world against Pakistan.
But if a terrorist group is using Pakistani soil against Iran, then you have a right to protest that why Pakistani soil is being used. I'm just giving you an example. And for instance, if Pakistani authorities gave once a tip to arrest Abdul Malik Regi from an airplane and later he was executed by the Iranian authorities. So I can assume here that if Mr. Yadav was using Iranian soil without the permission, without the knowledge of the government of Iran, so you might have raised that issue with the Indian authorities, that why one of your nationals was sitting in Iran and conspiring against a brother country like Pakistan.
My brother, you know, the first, it is totally different, because when terrorist groups, they attack and they use the area among the two brothers, the brother country, they came, came to Iranian soil, and Iranians, because of this brotherly border, they never look at it as a border of the conflict. And so they attacked, they killed 10 Iranian the militaries and captured one wounded young soldiers, and they came back to the territory. It is totally different. If anybody, not from the India that you said, from any countries, in the face of some jobs, they will be active in the Iranian territories. You can find a lot of countries that they are active in the business, and nobody in the world can condemn.
Exactly. So how do you see Mr. Yadav's confessional statement in which he admitted that he was residing in Iran and used to visit Pakistan quite frequently?
You know, if this guy from Iran to Pakistan illegally, it is something else. If it according his job, according to the international regulation and under the frame of the business, you can find a lot of foreigners that they are active in the Iranian. No one you can show that maybe this company, that company is against another company. Especially to the Pakistan.
Exactly. So, Pakistani military court announced a death sentence for Mr. Yadav that was briefly halted on the instructions or the brief interim order of the International Court of Justice. But do you think that Pakistan, being a sovereign country, had all the right to award a death sentence to a person who was convicted of act of terrorism, espionage, and destruction?
My brother, it is exactly interfere to the internal issues of Pakistan that we have a lot of attention to this matter. You know, it is totally the it is internal issue of the Pakistan and with their neighbors. It has nothing to do with us that we said we announce our position regarding this matter. If you can ask it, we can raise a lot of issues like this. One of the main questions that we raise to our brothers, because this country is our brothers' country. Many times we asked, many times we said, many times we said that door of Iran is open for negotiation, for sharing the views, for talking about this matter. That this summit, please tell us which part of this summit, it means the real summit, is the benefit to the Islamic world, is the benefit to the relation between Iran and Pakistan and all of the members of the Islamic countries. If you can ask and concentrate to any question that is, it has collective interest of the Islamic countries, you can ask how much the monies and the wills of the poor people of the Arab states spent to this summit.
Okay, coming to this summit, Pakistan attended this summit. Our Prime Minister, he went there and he represented Pakistan. By his presence or by participating in the summit, would that have any negative impact on the relation of Iran and Pakistan or no?
nothing can impact to the relation between Iran and Pakistan. It doesn't mean that we have not any issues for sharing the views, because we expect to Pakistan. Pakistanis, they took very nice decision regarding to the Yemen crisis.
So you were opposed to Pakistan's participation in the summit?
Because the Pakistan in the history was our best friend in the region. And we believe that this summit is not to the benefit to the new countries.
So did you communicate this before Pakistan went to that summit or no?
My brother, participate or not participate, it is the internal affair. Nobody can write. Nobody has right to ask this from any countries. But it is totally our right, according to the will and the wisdom of the two nations and two leaders, that we described, we said, we elaborated that this summit is not against terrorism, is not against any disasters that we have unfortunately from any Islamic countries. It is against Iran, and we expect from Pakistan that they should play their effective and positive and constructive role among the Muslim brothers, as they started 2 years back. The Pakistani government, they started to as a mediator between Iran and Saudi Arabia. Of course, the rift between Iran and Saudi Arabia, unfortunately.
So the rift, before I talk about the efforts Pakistan made to sort out the differences between Saudi Arabia and Iran, the rift, what is the core reason of the rift? And the recent rift, I know the history, but recently all this tension escalated between Saudi Arabia and Iran. Was that because of Yemen issue, or was that something else?
The first question and the first element of this rift is that we announced our position to our brothers in Saudi Arabia, that the first, we should consider that any conflict and the widening the rift among the Muslim brothers, the first some foreigners, some third parties, they are beneficial. If there is any misunderstanding, yes, among the brothers, they can come together, they can talk about it, they can solve it, and they can share, and they can use as like as the, for example, third parties like as the Pakistan. They can use it. When the Pakistani leaders, they said and asked from the Iranian authorities for coming to the matter, they said, yes, definitely, 100%, the doors are open for you. But unfortunately, the other side didn't accept it. We believe any small tension between Iran and Saudi Arabia is against the interest of the region, is against to the Islamic members, is against to all of the people.
What's the core reason? Is it because the Iranian involvement in Iraq, Syria, and other Middle Eastern countries, or it is because of Yemen?
The main core of the rift is that adoption of that country's policy towards the superpowers in the region. In all of the matters you can find it.
You criticize
we emphasize about it. About example for Syria. About Syria, what was the Iranian stance? We said that the legal government of the Syria, elected by the people, okay, permits to the people in the new election, they elect anybody that they want. It is really, not proper approach. For example, in Yemen, because the Yemen is also one of the member of our families, it means Islamic families. It is good, it is a proper approach if between two neighbors, any conflict, one side decided to have some, the new partner and attack to the poor people. The core issue between Iran and Saudi Arabia in this matter was that please don't turn back to each other. We believe that we should solve our problem, never and never need to any superpowers in Japan.
Many neutral analysts believe that the core is the sense of domination or the ambition of both Saudi Arabia and Iran. Both countries, they want their domination in the Middle East, and that is why it is happening. Saudi Arabia, with all its resources, it believes that it is the dominant power in the region and can call the shots alone, while Iran is challenging that bit or that ambition by its own way of, establish its own domination. So that is, according to the neutral analysts, this is the core of the issue.
My brother, if you look at the issue in the last 4 decades, Iran stand up against the superpowers. And so we suffered a lot of pressures, we suffered a lot of pain regarding to the sanctions. And so the main priorities of Iran in this new era is the extent of the relation, especially in trade and business in the region. And you can never find, you cannot able to find any cooperation in trade and business in the atmosphere of the tension. Please look at the Islamic Republic of Iran. What is the priority? We have 80 million population. That right now the first and the main priorities for any government is to come into creation of the job for the huge number of the youngsters and the new generation. You know, Iran is a young country.
Exactly.
65% under 30 years old. It means we have something around 40.
So why don't you untap that potential? That is basically the question. Why don't you untap that potential after 4 decades that you realize that living in the isolation is no solution? You struck a deal with P5+1, and United States was part of that deal. So instead of directly blaming the United States of America or calling it, the soul of our problem, why don't you have a good relation with that superpower that is in the benefit of the people of Iran and open up? Why not? Why you consider United States of America as your enemy?
Because we have a lot of bad memories from that country. We said if the American...
So do you want to live in the past or do you want to move on?
Also the current situation. We announced many times that if the Americans set aside the bully approach to the matters, because we cannot, again, according to our long and strengthened and reaching heritages that we have, we never can bend our head to any countries. And so if the American also set aside the bully approach to their policies, yes, why not? Why not? But with this bully approach of the Americans, I'm not optimistic. Not only me. Nobody can be optimistic about the close and next future rapprochement.
Exactly. One last question. Where do you see the relation between Pakistan and Iran in the years to come, especially after the new administration has taken place in Iran? And still, can Pakistan play a role, to bridge the rift or the gaps or fill in the blanks as far as the relations between Saudi Arabia and Iran are concerned?
Something that fortunately we received and we touched the will and the desire, the real will and desire of the Pakistani leaders for better relation among the big Islamic countries. And fortunately, that is very good approach by the Pakistani, and I believe that all of the lovely people of the Pakistan and the Islamic world, they said welcome to this matter. And we believe that all of the tension, inshallah, one day should be finished. And under the new government of Iran, no government, any government, brotherly approach to Pakistan never changed. And this new elected, it is re-elected president also, under the re-elected president also, our embassy and other relevant departments, they try the best for activating all of the possibilities and the potentials between the countries. And Pakistan, really, they have good potentials for the coming to the better and rapprochement among the Muslims. My brother, it is out of the wise that you consider that the most of the disastrous events we have in the Islamic countries,
that's true.
one by one collapse from early morning up to night. If you open all of the channels, you receive explosion, suicide explosion, bloodshedding, conflict, war, fighting, most of them in the Muslim countries.
Totally correct.
My brother, and the last word, you never look at it as automatically done the issue. It is under the management, and the burden of the matter is on the shoulders of the big countries in Islamic countries like Iran, Pakistan, Saudi Arabia, and some others. They constantly matter. Why the foreigners laugh? They are sitting in the shadow, laughing to this country. That these countries, they are conflicted to each other with their blood, with their time, with their everything.
Hope we manage to resolve our differences and all the conflicts and live with peace and coexistence in future. With this hope, thank you very much, Mr. Ambassador, for your time.
Close to the Ramadan al-Mubarak, and we pray to God Almighty one day we comes together and sitting and talking about the new era of the cooperation among the Muslim brothers, especially with
indeed.
lovely country Pakistan.
Thank you so much indeed.